It's football time! Once again, it's on! So everybody, out of your season, gonna get goal! And tell them, we ain't never scared! We ain't never scared! We ain't never scared!
Leaders are made. They are not born. They are made by hard effort, which is the price all of us must pay to achieve any goal that is worthwhile. Vince Lombardi. If you believe it, the mind can achieve it. Ronnie Lott.
Hi students, Miss Hine back again today, and today I want to take you into the world of sports. And so we started these videos with 5th grade teachers talking about the journey of a youth child. And so I want to make sure that we end it like that also. So today I really want to dig down deep and show you what a life of a football mom or a football child is like. And so we are going to do some math problems based off practice. And I'm sure all of you are ready to get back to practice.
Football is an honest game. It's true to life. It's a game about sharing. Football is a team game. So is life. Joe Nappeth. Football in our family is very big. I am very proud to be a football mom and to see my kids grow into better people because of this sport.
I'm so tired. Coach made me run like 10 miles today.
Do you know how long a mile is? I bet you didn't even run one. Buckle up.
Okay.
You to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Everybody understand? We the only hit squad out here. There ain't nobody else. We the only hit squad out here. Do y'all understand? All that yap.
So first we have to look at how long a football field is. So if you're looking at a regular football field, you see the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and then it starts going again 40, 30, 20, 10. And this is because you have two teams and they each have a side. So you have 100 yards in the middle, but each of your end zones are 10 yards deep. So all together you have 120 yards. So you have 120 yards on a football field. Let's do some math to figure out how far Mac ran. Okay. Let's look at a basic conversion chart. So our units of length, this is your basic conversion chart. And our units of length are 1 foot equals 12 inches. So that's your ruler basically. 1 yard equals 3 feet. And we usually use a yardstick for that. So 1 yard equals 3 feet. So 3 rulers together is 1 yard. Okay. If you're going to go to inches, it's going to be 36 inches. And 1 mile, this is the one we need. 1 mile equals 1,760 yards. So we are looking at this 1 mile equals
So we said there's
1,760 yards
in 1
to
mile.
figure out if Mac
We
even
also said that
ran
a football
a
field
mile
is
at practice today.
120 yards. So this is our information that we need to figure out. Now, Mac said he ran about 10 miles today at practice. But when I talked to the coach, what he had to run at the end was from the end zone. So that's your end zone, which we know is 10 yards. He ran from the end zone up to the 40-yard line. Okay? So we know that there is 40 yards from here to here. And the end zone is 10. So he ran 50 yards. Okay? But he ran all the way up and all the way back. So we know that 50 plus 50 is 100. Okay? So he ran 100 yards, but he did that 4 times. Okay? We're going to use our PEMDAS. Okay? Remember in 5th grade we learned PEMDAS? Parentheses, exponents, but we don't use that yet. Multiplication, division, addition. Subtraction. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Those are the tricks that help us remember. So we know he ran 100 yards 4 times. So we're going to set up our PEMDAS problem. So we want to know, did he run at least 1 mile? He's saying he ran 10. So we're going to start with 1,760 and we're going to subtract whatever he ran. So we're going to subtract 4. We said 50 plus 50 was 100 because that was our up and back yards, right? So 4 times 50 plus 50, okay? And then we're gonna do this problem. So whenever you start this kind of problem, you always do parentheses first, your P, parentheses. And if you need to write PEMDAS and cross them out in order, you can do that. So 50 plus 50 is 100, and we just did that. And when I do these problems, I like to rewrite each step. This way I don't lose any numbers and I keep track of what I'm doing. Okay? So now I have 1,760 minus 4 times 100, because I did those parentheses first, equals. So if we're going to do 4 times 100, we have 100 times 4. If you need to write it on the side, you may always do that. Okay? 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 0 is 0, and 4 times 1 is 4. Okay, so 400. So we have 1,760 minus 400 yards, okay, equals. Okay, so now we're going to minus 400 from there. Well, we know the hundreds place would be here. So another way to quick do your math is these are zeros, so that 6 0 is going to stay the same, right? But 7 minus 4 gives you 3. So he has 1,760 yards to go to even run 1 mile. Okay? But what if he did that at the beginning of practice and at the end of practice? So they started practice running this, and they did it at the end. So now we take this number, right? And we say, okay, well, he did this twice. So we're going to minus another 400 and see if we get any closer. If you need to write it, you can, but 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 6 is 6, so you keep your 60. You can't subtract 3 from 4, so you're going to cross this out, make it a 0, put it in front of the 3. 13 minus 4 gives you 9. Now we have 960 yards to run before we hit that mile. So you run a lot at football, and during the practice, you're probably doing plays and running up and down the field. And so you probably do run at least 1 mile, if not 2 at practice. but you don't run 10. It's just hot and tiring because you're working hard. But working hard gets you better every time.
Hey, great job. Let me get 2 claps. Defense, great job. 2 claps. Offense, great job. 2 claps. Hey, we know what's going on. We know we had a couple of mentals. That's okay. We're going to clean that up and get ready for the next one. What's our record? 0-0. What's our record? 0-0. Already. Who wants the smoke? Who wants the smoke? Listen, good job. Make sure y'all get y'all some food in y'all. Hydrate. Stay off your feet. 11. Man, grab a quick snack. Don't even leave. Grab a quick snack. We'll meet up. We'll meet up near field 2. Man, way to get the job done. Way to battle through adversity. Way to keep cool heads. Way to handle business. That's the CTX way. But other than that, let's just go ahead and get our clap up.
Water. A lot of water.
Great job.
Get ready for your next game, man.
Hey, all these people around. Let me get 2 claps. You gonna handle our business in the next game? Look, come in. Bow your heads. Come on.
Bow your hands. Get up.
I come to you today first and foremost. To thank you for waking up each and every one of us and giving us another opportunity to come out and participate in the game we love. I know that it wasn't perfect, Lord, but I thank you for being with us and getting us through the adversity. And I pray that you continue to stay with us so that we can go ahead and complete this mission. I ask that everyone that was injured and banged up, that they receive healing, that they're ready for this next game, that everybody's in good health, we stay safe, and we continue to bond and grow together as a family. In your name I pray. Amen.
Wrap it up.
You gotta go this squad, this transition.
Squad.
Okay, using your order of operation. So using your orders of operation, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses first, exponent second, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. You're going to use your order of operation, and we're going to pretend you're at football practice, okay? So, again, we want to know, did you run a mile? And so we said there are 1,000. My marker's not working. That really makes you feel like you're in school, right? 1,760 yards equals 1 mile. So we want to know if we ran a mile. So we're going to take 1,760 and we're going to subtract our workouts today. Okay? When you start a practice, we're going to say that you ran 3 times up and back to the 50-yard line. Now we have to count the end zone, so we know it's going to be 60 yards, right? So it's going to be 3 times 60 plus 60, because up and back, okay? And after you're halfway through the practice, maybe coach gave you a water break, and before you got your water break, you had to work for it. And so he said you have to run all the way from the end zone to, so you have to run from coach, you have to run to coach from the end zone to the second 40, which is going to be 60 yards. So once you get to the 40, it's going to be 40 yards. You'll hit the 50, and then you'll hit the other 40, which is going to give you 60 yards. So if you add your 10 and 60, okay, you're going to go another 60 yards. So you're not stopping at the first 40, you're stopping at the second 40, okay? And then at the end of practice, you had to do 3 more 60 plus 60. So we're going to minus 3 60 plus 60 equals. So for Thursday, I want you to do this problem, and that's how we'll start the lesson, and then we'll go into something a little different, okay? So you are going to see if you ran 1 mile, if you ran up to the 50-yard line, including the end zone, 3 times up and back, up and back. Then you ran from the end zone to the coach at the 60. Then you ran another 3 times to the 60, up and back. Or I'm sorry, to the 50, up and back, because we have the end zone in there, okay? So you are going to do this using your order of operation. So you know you're always going to start with your parentheses, right? Your exponents we don't do in 5th grade.
1, 2, 3, CTS!
Good job, fellas.
So you have to run from coach you have to run to coach from the end zone to the second 40, which is going to be 60 yards. So once you get to the 40, it's going to be 40 yards. You'll hit the 50, and then you'll hit the other 40, which is going to give you 60 yards. So if you add your 10 and 60, okay, you're going to go another 60 yards. So you're not stopping at the first 40, you're stopping at the second 40, okay?